All right, guys. Good morning, everybody. So let's do the recap for today. First of all, let's look at the market. So market today,
We lost Andrew.
more declining and more declining right now than going advancing. So as you see in the tradingterminal.com, by the way, guys, you see this advancing declining is based on the total number of the stocks being traded. So as you see, it's just the power is toward the declining. New high, new low is kind of almost a 50%, and the number of the stocks that are being traded above their 50 moving average or 200 moving average are significantly lower than the stocks that are below 200 moving average. So as you see, this is just shows the pressure of the market that we are still in a downward. So as you see in the tradingterminal.com. By the way, guys, if you guys want to trade, practice your trades, trading simulator replay that we have, with one chart or two chart, you can actually trade. Practice your trading replay if you guys want to get better at trading. Today I just made one trade. So the market in the morning, the employment number came in apparently, and it was a little bit stronger. And again, the whole goal of the markets right now is just to cool down the inflation. That's why we had such a sharp interest rate hike in 2022, which is really aggressive. So you have to cool down the economy, and how you cool down the economy, you have to put pressure on the businesses a little bit of slack on the employment. So the Federal Reserve really doesn't want maximum employment right now. They want price stability. So a little bit of it, but if the market still is strong, it means that you still can put a little bit more pressure on the businesses. So the businesses lay off a little, let go a little bit off, they cool down the wages and everything. So that's why the market dropped a little bit. But traded really choppily, if it's a word. It was obvious from every single minute move up and down that it's really hard to get a big wave down or big wave up. And so I waited for really a couple of minutes today on Tesla. I was watching Tesla. Tesla had a really huge drop. I didn't catch the first drop, but as you see after, this is very important, guys, in the price action. I see really choppiness. Eventually, we wanted to get this 107.50 bounce, but I didn't take that one because I noticed that there's a big squeeze happened here, and I wanted to get something like that. As soon as it touched this 107.50, which is the 52-week low, we really got the squeeze back. I think Brian took that trade, but I didn't take that trade. You take that bounce, Brian? Did you, from 107.50 to about
yes.
110? Yeah. For me, it was TQQ. So TQQ was, for me, is kind of the same trade. So I noticed that QQQ really, came down below 262 and is holding around here like a double bottom. So I noticed that there is a double bottom, kind of a bottom. I decided to take this long here on TQQ. You can go long QQQ as well, but it's much more capital efficient to trade TQQ. So I went long at 1635 here, all the way up to 1617. And then we had at around 1007, 1008, there was a news came in apparently that, there is a ceasefire in Ukraine for one day, the Russia announced, and then suddenly a big pop-up that happened that I sold some here. So that was a really nice trade. And eventually, ended up my day very nicely for $2,300 so on TQQ. So you could trade QQQ as well. It's exact price action, but in this particular case, better to trade TQQ because on the intraday basis, they're more capital. From 1635 to 1680 is like 2% move that you're getting. And that's it. That was the only trade. And I think after after the drop, I came in. But as you see, overall, the market is extremely choppy. We had this drop in the pre-market, but now it's trading in a choppy environment. And for that style of trading, you got to be really careful. So one trade and it's done for me. There are some other companies that are looking, like HKD, for example, is moving from $17 to $28. But this is not the style of my trading. So there's obviously the opportunity to trade here. But, look at this drop from $28 to $23. So you drop five points. So definitely if you want to trade this kind of low float stocks, even though they're higher priced, but they're extremely overpriced. But you got to be careful. First of all, the spread is really bad. Sometimes the spread is almost $1. So you have to extremely trade smaller share size, like 100 shares, just 200 shares, that type of thing. But definitely this is not something that you want to take 5,000 shares on. That you got to be really careful. And yeah, that's it for me. I mean, that was essentially it. I'm back from this is the first recap of January. As I mentioned, we want to keep the recaps a little bit toward more education, not just over trading. Like yesterday I traded, it was really nice trade. We got a really nice 5 minute open range breakup on Tesla, but it wasn't really worth doing a recap. And if you want anything, guys, just leave it in the comments, and I'm happy to answer any comments and questions that you might have, guys. The whole goal of success in trading is being consistent. And feel free to join us, guys, if you have any question about trading. And PCT, Peak Capital Bootcamp, guys, starts next week. A few spots left. If you guys want to join, work with Peter, John, Eamon, and Susan and Megan closely. This is the very close. We increased the price a little bit because you really get 3 months of intensive mentorship, which, if you divide it by the number of the hours that these people are going to spend for you, it's going to be worth it. And that's it for me. Tesla is breaking the 52-week low, and now we're going to go to Brian, who can tell us exactly what he traded.
Yeah, so no, I just traded Tesla after it bounced back, and we got that nice move. Got in around 109.30, and then it just, as it was breaking through the 9 moving average, and then just traded it up through 110, and that was, and then it just fell back from there. So I'd pretty much partialed all of my shares out at that point, but that kind of coincided with that nice big move back on the Qs that you took. So Tesla was kind of just trading with the market. And right now I'm still long some BABA. The Chinese stocks pulled back today on some weak service numbers, I believe it was. But Chinese stocks have been strong, and I just kind of figured this was an opportunity to get in and get long, and probably going to stay long, probably going to turn this into a swing trade. So right now I'm in around 103, and it's trading at almost 105 now.
Awesome. Excellent, guys. Thank you so much. And if you're watching this for the first time, feel free to subscribe to our channel, and looking forward to see you guys in the community trade with next to us. Ciao.